We're getting...
What the heck is going on?
What?
I left to get a Diet Coke. Did nobody notice this wasn't me?
To understand the food of our present, we must first understand the food of our past.
That's why we're recreating some of the most notable meals throughout history, and today we're making food from a really old restaurant.
Oh, you mean like the last Pizza Hut to be converted into a Citibank?
No, but I am a fan. We're making food from St. Peter's Stiftskulinarium in Salzburg, Austria, opened about 1,200 years ago.
Whoa, is that the oldest thing we've ever done?
No!
Listen, it's time for
Meals of History! All right, so like I said, St. Peter's Stiftskulinarium, and I apologize for any of my terrible German accent. This was opened, it was first mentioned in 803, but back then it was probably called St. Peter's Stiftskeller, which means St. Peter's wine cellar. So this was opened as a wine cellar, but also an inn for travelers to come in to eat. But back then you kind of like bring your own food to the inns and then people would cook it for you. But it was all opened because of Charlemagne. So we're going straight Dark Ages here when this opened. The Roman Empire had fallen, you have the Franks that have taken over. Charlemagne wants to like open more rural churches, wants to get people in the door, tells them, hey, bring your own birds and we'll boil them for you. And so that's the origins of this restaurant.
Ew, a boiled just bird.
We're gonna be boiling a lot of things today.
I just imagine feathers on, like feathers on, just boil the bird. That's
we'll try our best to take them off. So this place opens in 800 and then it just keeps powering through. It's carved into a literal rock in Salzburg, Austria. And then history unfolds and Christopher Columbus apparently ate there. Mozart apparently ate there. They do Mozart dinner series these days. Haydn, the composer, apparently lived in the top floor. This place has seen it all. And the only reason Guinness doesn't consider it the world's oldest restaurant is because it had to briefly close down during the Napoleonic Wars. I feel like there should be an asterisk, Guinness, given the title. So this place...
that's like, that would have been dangerous.
Right? Like, what do you expect them to do?
You're gonna fault people for being like, helpful and protective of their citizens? Shame on you, Guinness.
I do like your beer, though. I do like your beer. I will say, send us some free beer.
Yeah. Is that the same Guinness?
Yeah, no. They literally started it as a thing to like...
Why do beer people get to make records?
Why do tire companies get to rate restaurants? Neither here nor there.
All right.
The point is, this place has seen a ton of history and it is still open today. We actually have the menu that is there today and they have some really cool historical dishes on it here. We got prime boiled Salzburg organic beef that is called Tafelspitz and it goes back to an emperor in the 1800s. And so a lot of really cool stuff that we get to dig into today.
I'm so excited.
Let's do it. So what are you gonna guss yourself up as?
Well, I had a plan, but this sounds a lot fancier than I thought it was gonna be. So it might, be different.
When I think of fancy, I think of Emily Fleming, though.
All right, I can hear the sarcasm in your voice. Hey, what are you doing in my kitchen?
I just came here to help out. I heard you needed some help boiling some meats. Thought I could pitch in.
It smells pretty good.
Yeah? You think I'm doing a good job?
Yeah. I mean, it's not what our cook would do, but
What would your cook do?
Usually we just have people bring their bread and then we just, bake it for them. We don't really make
sense.
much, but yeah, and we have some like this fish thing. I think it's just got salt on it and it's like slightly wet.
Yeah, so wet salt fish.
Yeah,
That's the specialty of St.
How's
Peter's.
my German accent going?
So you're not like an official server here.
Oh no, I'm actually a ghost.
You can't hold the plates if you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, I have fun just like walking around blowing on people's necks.
So you've kind of like the haunting specter of St. Peter's Stiftskulinarium.
Yeah, I have a good time. They still haven't found my body, which is weird. I feel like that's why I'm stuck here. I got really drunk, wandered outside, fell in a well.
What else were you to do in the Dark Ages?
Tale as old as time.
We do not know what was on the official menu. You were there in 800 when this opened, but there's no surviving menus, obviously. And back then, like, there were kind of two options. You had boiled meats and you had roasted meats.
Yeah, and what's funny is like people just brought their food and then we like cooked it for them.
They'd literally be like, I killed this bird, and they'd be like, well, put it in the pot of water. So that's literally what we have here. This is a neutered rooster. This is a capon.
Quick question, neutered rooster.
Just cut it off.
Do roosters have balls?
Of course roosters have balls. That's the point of a rooster. Roosters bang, man.
Do you think that I'll get in trouble for Googling that on our internet?
I've Googled so many worse. Exploding duck penis. We're making something that is called a bruet of capon. So we're taking this recipe from, it was a book written by a physician named Anthimus called De Observatione Ciborum in the 6th century. This was written for the Frankish kings. The main Frankish king that people know is
They're not very nice guys.
Charlemagne, that's right. Charlemagne's a
Oh my God.
Bad tipper?
He was so obsessed with making us go to church.
Yeah, it's kind of his thing, you know?
This guy, like some people back in the day, they would just like go to church multiple times a day.
Yeah, that was his thing. He was trying to expand Christendom. That's like why we're making it. We're drawing people in.
Yeah.
Like, I go to Catholic churches to eat the crackers, you know, the same way that, you know, they were doing this.
You know, I'm a Methodist. And at my church, we had Hawaiian bread and
Wait,
Welch's
really?
grape juice. Suck on that, Catholic church.
Yeah, going to synagogue
That's,
growing up.
if you're hungry, everybody's hungry in church. I don't know. It's like, because it's so boring. You just want to eat food. And man, Methodist communion is lit. Anyway.
I took Catholic communion for the first time in a Catholic wedding.
But you're not allowed.
I know, I didn't know that. I messed it up. The priest was straight up like,
So rebellious.
because I was in the bathroom when they were giving the instructions, and so
Yeah.
you're supposed to go up, and if you're not Catholic,
Yes.
this, and the priest is
I
kind
was
of just
very
like,
proud when I did
Jesus
that.
be with you, homie, and I didn't know, and I
Homie.
saw people eating crackers, and most of them were Catholic, and I just go up, and I just kind of stare at him like this, and he goes, do you take
"Something's not
communion?
right."
And I didn't want to be rude and say no, because that seemed weird, that seemed worse, so I was
You
just
went
like,
right up. You
uh-huh.
went, L'chaim.
So we got the cape on here. It's just boiled bird, literally 3
I'm
ingredients.
gonna be real. It
salt.
smells really good.
Dude, it's gonna taste really good. And here we go. We're just gonna dump some of this into the
Ooh,
blender.
we're making gravy.
Yeah, we're literally making, okay, if you were to call this dish something
Open the
today,
pores up with that chicken steam.
you'd literally just call it like, this is chicken and almond milk. So we're gonna
Ooh.
blend almonds in with this, and then we're gonna strain it off. We're gonna add some sugar. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. And then we're adding some powdered ginger.
Ooh.
Again, this is one spice, one nut, a couple flavorings of wine. We got a normal white wine going in here, just a skosh.
Are we doing a theme every time I've been on here and there's been wine? It's
Dude.
had a name of somebody from the kitchen. There was a lily
Josh
wine
wine.
last time.
And this,
You can't do
it's
that.
not wine, it's verjus. So this is, you take a wine grape and you don't ferment it, you just juice it. And this was a really
try it.
common, it's really good. So the wine grape genus is Venus vinifera, right? And so that is what you juice. And so that's meant to add some acid to this dish. So now I'm gonna blend it up. Emily, you gotta watch out.
Ooh, this is really good.
What's your name? You got like a silly name, like Bront?
You guessed it.
Bront!
Wow.
I'm so good.
My
used to do
name
this.
precedes
I can
me.
guess all their
Everyone
names.
knows I haunt this place.
Carl. Alright. Okay, there we go. So we gotta blend up the almonds. Traditionally, they would have just mashed them though. They ain't got blenders in the 800s. So we're
I
blending
don't know
the
why
almonds.
I hold my titties when I'm scared.
Look
but I
at
do.
how thick this is. We're just making milk chicken.
But are you supposed to boil it like that? Ain't gonna get burned?
Yeah, well, probably not. I don't know, man. Listen, the recipes back then, they're all written in like a weird language that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, we couldn't read. We just
You
kind of
couldn't
made
read?
it work, you know?
No, that is like, yeah, it was literally just like the clergy could read and they were just kind of dominating
what's up with
everything.
that?
I don't know, man. This is looking weird.
Sometimes I just I draw a chicken. I'd be like, we got this.
Yeah, this is just a straight up recipe from like literally the 600s. That would have been made for the Frankish royals, and they would have been traveling. They would have been stopping into St. Peter's wine cellar, you know? So
you
this
know,
is
we
something
were like the
insane.
fancy place in town because we had wine, and we were like kind of ooh.
Crazy fact: the Nazis raided. We're fast forwarding a bit.
Oh yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah, not great. Worse than Charlemagne. How'd they tip?
They didn't make me go to church, which was cool. But like, yeah, they were worse.
I got a cramp laughing at that. I'm sorry, Maggie. I did not expect this to look like that.
It kind of looks like cheese.
Kind of looks like cheese. I mean, it's just this really thick, fatty almond gravy. So now we're just gonna add the chicken back in there. It's just gonna stew in the almond milk.
So this is a current recipe or one from like an old one?
So they don't currently serve this. This is something that would have been made for Charlemagne.
I knew that.
500. I feel like I said that
Sorry, I'm not listening.
This is it. Like, we done it.
So you just put stuff in that and then you gave it to people. The main service that I offered back in the day when I was alive is I just wash dishes. Like I didn't really, because like people were bringing food and whatever.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
makes
just
sense.
like, you know, I just cleaned the slop.
Well, hey, we got our own bowl of slop now for you to clean.
What if you like really made me wash dishes today because I said that?
No, we actually are short-staffed today. So if you could kind of
Lily, Trevor, no!
get some gloves on. So we got our bruet of white capons here, 1,200-year-old dish. This is absolutely OG, but we're gonna fast forward 1,000 years
Okay.
that you have been a part of.
I've been there the whole time.
Haunting all of them.
Yep, I know everything that would happen there.
And we're gonna make some more boiled meats.
I really enjoyed it when there weren't wenches anymore. Because they didn't pool their tips. They just didn't help me out at all.
Wenches, come on, where were the unions?
So next up, we are going to be making the Salzburger Nachkarell. And you can't really talk about Salzburg without talking about Mozart, who actually ate at the restaurant. Did you get to ever serve
Yes, I did.
Mozart? That's
Tipped,
fantastic.
so I like that guy.
That's all that matters. You know, he actually did some writing about food, not that much. He did mention, though, about 2 months before he died, in one of his letters to his wife, he mentioned that he was getting some pork chops. Que gusto, he said, I'm going to be thinking about you while I eat these pork chops. 2 months later, he died, and some speculate that it was actually trichinosis that killed him. It's unknown, but it is a possible cause of death, and it takes about 2 months to die from trichinosis poisoning. So,
I hope that's not the last letter he sent his wife. It's not very romantic. If I had a guy just texting me going like, I'm eating pork and I'm thinking of you, I'd be like, all right,
that's most of
at
my...
least he's putting in some effort.
Most of my texts are about what I'm eating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of my emails.
Oh, your
So it would
emails.
make sense.
We're gonna
What the heck is going on?
What?
I left to get a Diet Coke. Did nobody notice this wasn't me? Guys, this is Max Miller from Tasting History. We don't even look at, he has a nice beard, a mellifluous voice, and much better research.
I'll be honest.
Did you like him better? Do you like him better?
He seemed a lot more knowledgeable.
No, scram, Max, get out of here. It's my show.
Thank you.
Take my Diet Coke, man, come on. Salzburger Nachkarell, Bront. It was invented by Salome
Don't wear it out.
in the 1500s. She was a concubine of the actual Archduke of Salzburg, fathered 15 illegitimate children. He was petitioning the Pope to legitimize the marriage, and the Pope kind of legitimized some of the kids, and it's a really weird situation. Five of them died, but she was like a big aristocrat, and so she was a part of the culture of Salzburg. So she invented a dessert. This is a meringue that actually looks like the mountains in Salzburg, and it looks super dank, so we're gonna make it.
What is that?
Egg white.
Oh, I
was gonna get to that.
I put my finger in it
Don't
and I tasted it.
Speaking of dying of foodborne illness, we don't need a salmonella poisoning
I'll
in
get
here.
what was it?
Trichinosis.
Trichinosis.
You said that was some Italian-American flair. Trichinosis. All right, so we're just gonna start by whipping up these egg whites. We're doing a classic meringue. A lot of Austro-Hungarian dishes actually came from the French and Austrian pastry culture was linked. I learned this from Trevor, actually. They say that croissants were actually invented in Vienna. That's why they still call... Yeah, there's a fly, dude.
It's a huge fly.
Yeah, we're in a mountain in Salzburg. French pastry is actually called viennoiserie because literally Vienna was a sort of cultural capital at the time. So a lot of laminated French pastries are actually Austrian in origin, allegedly. There's some yeah. Can you scrape out the seeds from the vanilla pod for me? You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
I'm just saying, every time you make me do something,
here.
it ends up not being necessary.
We're gonna add some cream of tartar to the meringue just to sort of make it tight, make it nice and tight. And then what else am I doing? I'm gonna start creaming some sugar into these eggs. We're gonna add this into our meringue.
What am I doing?
Oh my God, I forgot you don't cook.
You forgot.
All right, so we're gonna take these vanilla pods and we're gonna split them.
Okay.
What you do is you split it down the middle and you sort of open it up.
Oh, this is like those commercials for ice cream.
Yeah.
Every time, they're trying to sell vanilla really hard, man.
Okay.
It's kind of a hard thing to sell. They're like, beat the vanilla bean.
Vanilla was not historically, all right, we're gonna add some sugar into this gradually.
So I scrape it out, right?
Vanilla historically was not a hard thing to sell, literally one of the most expensive spices that, dominated world trade. I blame E.L. James, 50 Shades of Grey author, for turning vanilla into something very plain. Because I feel like that put it into the missionary sex category and not this is a really cool flower.
They say that vanilla bean or vanilla ice cream is missionary for ice cream?
Well, no, E.L. James used the term. Vanilla has been a term in let's jump into the BDSM community. Vanilla has been a term for a long time, but I feel like most people didn't know it until 50 Shades. All right, so we're adding the yolks back in here. It's a really simple dessert. It's only got a couple of ingredients. A lot of the best things are, drop the yolk in there. It's gonna add a nice little bit of fat and a good yellow color. All right, fantastic. So we got some nice stiff peaks here. Oh, I forgot to do that.
Is that enough vanilla in there that I put?
I think that's enough vanilla. Yeah, look, you got the little nice speckles.
Yeah.
And then now I'm gonna take just a little bit of cake flour and we're just gonna gently fold this in, just enough to get this to sort of set up. So it's gonna be half meringue, half kind of cakey.
Ooh.
Should be nice. I hope I don't screw up the folding. You gotta take a gentle hand, and I'm not a patient cook. So we're gonna mound this up. You get some nice big old mounds in here.
Wow, that's like
we
kind of
go.
hot.
Yeah, like sexually?
It's like it jiggles good. Look at that thing. You could tell I've
Been deprived of
I've
touch
been
over
deprived of
1200
touch for a while.
We're gonna pop this in 400 Gavin. We can bake it just about 10 minutes till it sets up. And
All
then
right.
you're ready to get to dinner, get to our main course?
I'm so hungry, so yes.
yeah,
let's
you
do
haven't
it.
eaten in 1200 years. Food's just passing
Exactly.
right through you.
I mean, I can eat. It's just I don't need to. I'm a ghost.
Hey, Bron, let me ask you something.
What?
You like seeing live shows?
Oh, we had so much live entertainment during the Dark Ages. We had dirt snakes, so you'd throw dirt at snakes and you'd run away and be like, ha ha, ha, it's gonna get me. Like,
Well,
kind of
hey,
thing.
if you love dirt snakes, you love seeing Rhett and Link's live show at Mythicon. Just because you're not going to be in Austin, Texas, doesn't mean you have to miss out on October 29th, 7:30 Central Time. Rhett and Link are taking the main stage. You can buy tickets to the live stream at mythicontickets.com. Rhett and Link, this is their chance to do whatever they want, and they are bringing the good stuff. Check it out, mythicontickets.com, October 29th, 7:30 Central Time.
Also, we'll be there.
Do you know what a live stream is?
I've seen water that moves.
I got the whole squad laughing. Chop up that apple for me. So we are making a dish that is very important to Austrian history. It's called Tafelspitz. This is literally on the menu right now at St. Peter's Stiftskulinarium. They call it prime Salzburg boiled beef. Again, Germanic peoples, they're boiling a lot of meats, so that's what we're doing. This is a favorite dish of Emperor Franz Joseph I. He was the emperor of Austria-Hungary. They said he ate this literally every freaking day.
Wow.
So right now we're making a horseradish sauce that typically goes with it. If you just want to dice that apple, we're gonna toss it in a food processor with horseradish and then some white pepper, all that. Right now, I'm gonna get our beef boiled.
I've never diced an apple.
Well,
I'll figure it out.
There's seeds in it.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay, cool, you got it. I'm just taking a nice cut of rump roast here. Why did I lie to you? It's a tri-tip. It just seemed like it would slice nicely.
I'm not
It's
gonna know
cow
the
meat.
difference,
I
Josh.
know.
Oh,
But them,
no!
they're- the simplest task. How did you not get fired? Wait, did you get fired, get drunk, and then fall down a well? Is that what happened? Where did that go?
I threw that really far with my left hand.
I understand in the dark age, like, you know, you could just, like, do whatever.
Well,
we have rules now,
First,
Bron.
I did
We
not
have
get
rules.
fired. I just died in a well. But the fact that no one came to look for me is kind of telling about
Nobody was sad that you
my
left.
talents
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
makes
kitchen.
sense, makes sense.
But no, I've been fired from every restaurant job I've ever had. in
Wait, did
real
you,
life.
as a ghost, did you try and work in modern restaurants? Like, did you try and get a job at the Sizzler?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, they're buffet. I do love the
No,
salad
I just
bar.
mainly hung out and just kind of, I just kind of watch people. I'm an observer now.
Yeah, I mean, who's your favorite person that you've watched? Like, have you seen
Oh,
any
man.
incriminating things? Were you there during like Watergate?
Again with the water, there's streams, there's gates. I think that's called a dam, just so you know. But anyway.
Wise guy over here.
This guy making up. There was this guy named Morgan Freeman who came recently. He sounds like God.
Bruce Almighty Morgan Freeman. That's the first Morgan Freeman role I think of. Which
Yes.
is probably
Not
what else?
Shawshank?
Shawshank. I saw that one. You've made it to the movies.
Yeah, well, I hear people talking about it all the time. It's the best movie ever made. I hear people saying that a lot.
So this dish was very important to German history, and Emperor Franz Joseph was like, we don't want the like big, lavish French-style meals. We're trying to modernize like a German confederation of states. And so he was like, yo, just give me this boiled beef. And his cooks were like, well, we're still gonna kind of make it into a multi-course thing, which is why we have the bone marrow boiling in there, along with the aromatics, allspice, black pepper, stuff like that. But they would
smells good.
kind of like course out this just like big old boiled beef feast, and now it's become like a hallmark of Viennese and Salzburg cuisine.
Yep.
I think it's pretty cool.
So you didn't want to know about how I got fired from every restaurant I ever worked in?
Tell me, Bron. I'm here to listen to you.
Okay, I got fired from the old spaghetti factory. I only
How
worked there.
old was the spaghetti factory?
How old was it? Actually, that should have been the intro joke.
the old spaghetti
Spaghetti
factory.
Factory. Ah.
Guys, you gotta go back, reshoot the intro.
No, I got fired because you had to have those huge trays that you had to balance.
There's just seed.
And-
There's just seed in all of
Well,
this.
then throw it away.
I just like, did you not think?
You're interrupting my story.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell your story.
Basically, I dropped a bunch of minestrone soup on a 9-year-old's birthday party.
Oh, that's a real story.
It was very hot. The soup was very hot.
Yeah. I remember you
Then
telling
I
me
got
you bumped a
fired.
child. Yeah, that makes sense.
I once was a waitress at a cage match. But the it was an
What the
event.
hell has your life been?
I've lived many lives, and then I keep playing people in different lives. It's crazy.
We're adding
But
a little bit of sugar and a little bit of
it was
salt.
a cage match in Nashville at the fairgrounds. But
Got some
the
vinegar
opening,
going in here.
The opening was a bunch of 8-year-olds fighting each other in the cage. I'm not kidding.
We got some white pepper, vinegar, and sugar going in here. They
Yes.
have 8-year-olds cage fighting each other?
Yes.
What the hell is Tennessee doing? Can someone check on
Come on,
Tennessee?
it's Tennessee. We know what the deal is. But also, what's white pepper?
White pepper is just, so there's various kinds of peppercorn. Some are white, some are pink, some are black, you know?
Oh, I
It's
didn't
kind
know
of
that.
beautiful, yeah. We got our condiment blended up. The beef, that just needs to boil. Now we gotta wait 4 hours. You wanna go do some haunting? A little bit of haunting and jaunting?
Okay, the only thing I can do, I can't pick things up. I can blow on people.
Let's go blow
And they
some-
can kind of feel it on their neck, and they're like, that's what I can do.
That's hot.
Ha!
Boiled beef's boiled.
I have a stick now.
You have a stick now. What's the stick for?
Okay, so I read this thing about taverns, how they told you, like, the tavern was open and closed.
Yeah.
They put the stick that they did the brewery stuff with the beer, and then they just, like, put it on the side of the building, and people be like, hey, the stick's there. Cool.
Hey,
Like, and everybody
Fun
go in.
story about St. Peter's Stiftskeller. They got the right to brew beer in the 1800s.
Wait, they didn't have beer before that?
No, I could only make wine because they were like monks and there's like a bunch of weird regional protections. That's just the thing.
That's fascinating.
That's
And Just when
fascinating.
you think of a tavern or a, pub or whatever, you just think beer immediately.
You think beer? I think beer. I'm a big beer tavern guy. Like Trappist ales in Belgium. Like that's just monks making beer. Man, monks had it good. If it wasn't for the celibacy,
Yeah,
you know,
it'd be kind of fun.
it'd be kind of fun. I mean, yeah, honestly, a lot of it sounds pretty tough.
Being a nun doesn't sound as fun as being a priest.
Look at this nice beef though. That's lovely. So we got some simple, like some Swiss chard, some turnips, some carrots right here. That's just to sort of plate it. And so you just sort of arrange the boiled beef and then you just flood the plate with all the strained
Ooh,
broth.
yeah, get that good.
I love it. This looks like a hometown buffet dish.
It does
You know?
actually.
Yeah, this looks like something you'd get carved at the carving station at the old hometown buffet, which I'm
Boy,
into.
I hope buffets stick around.
Yeah,
even though
same.
I don't know if they're gonna.
That's a cultural institution that we need to protect.
Yeah, we gotta try.
A little scoop of that horseradish right here.
Ooh.
It's a little bit of parsley. So again, this is on the menu today at St. Peter's Stiffs Culinarum, and also something that was eaten in the 1800s there. So it's like something that has survived the entire time. Here you go, prime Salzburg boiled beef, baby. Oh wait.
Yes.
Boom, prime
As a ghost,
Salzburg boiled beef.
As the ghost from this episode, that's what it needed to have.
Yeah, yeah, you're the expert.
Yeah, if you had given me that plate in 18 or 800, if you had given me that, I would have been like, he didn't give me the bone. Is he mad at me?
I'm not mad at you, Bron. You just, you do
Thanks,
creep me
man.
out a little bit. You keep blowing on my neck off camera.
I mean, that's all. But is there anything else I do that's weird?
I don't like the stick.
Well, that's all you had to say, man. I'll get rid of the stick if you don't like it. Jeez, you gotta learn how to express your emotions.
Well, we got Din Din. Max, I'm sorry for freaking out on you earlier. You're a guest in our kitchen, in our home. That was my bad.
You're not gonna get rid of me now.
And I'm glad you got to bond with Bront.
I love living inside the two Spider-Mans meme. It's pretty fun. I also just realized when it's just you and me and I'm in a costume, it's just kind of silly looking. But when it's two guys and then
Yeah,
me
now
sitting
it's
here
really
like
weird.
this,
Now it's
This
really
is
weird.
normal.
it just looks
Yeah, yeah.
so weird. It's like two friends that went out to dinner and they're like, that friend came. Oh boy.
All right, so this is that bruit of capon that we made. This is from Pseudo Apicius that Anthemus wrote, and this is basically chicken and almond milk, or neutered French rooster and almond milk. So, I don't know. I guess dig in with your hands. There wasn't any utensils back then.
Oh, okay.
Why does this taste like something my grandma would have made?
That meat is so tender though. Mm-hmm. That's just
Because when you take the testicles off,
it tenderizes.
it tenderizes from the inside.
This would be like the ultimate chicken and dumplings chicken.
It is. It's such a simple. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almonds, like wine, ginger, and sugar. It's just good as hell.
Be really good on some mashed potatoes.
All right, so next up, we'll save the Salzburger Nockerl for dessert. We got to get into the Tafelspitz. So Emily, Bront, serve up the Tafelspitz.
Yep, that's the name. I never serve anything on this show.
No,
No.
near you.
Give me your
Wait,
plate.
Grab some bread. Oh yeah.
Give me a plate.
So
Let's,
traditionally, Tafelspitz would be served almost as a multi-course thing. You would get like the bone marrow first, followed by various cuts of beef, all
Here,
in the broth.
have a
Yeah,
carrot and
dude,
stuff.
Bro, give me a turnip.
You want some of this horseradish that you paint?
Yeah. The horseradish.
Oh, no.
Not what it is.
I ate a
So
big
it's a
chunk of
horseradish?
chicken and it got like stuck in the thing.
It's an apple
moving
horseradish
down.
condiment that's typically served with Tafelspitz. So this was a favorite of Emperor Franz Joseph in the 1800s, and this became like very formative in like the culinary history of especially Vienna in the beef trade and whatnot. So they was always eating boiled beef. I'm not a big boiled beef man typically.
Typically. Special
like
occasions
thinking-
only.
I like thinking of what a boiled beef man would be like. Who is that man?
I mean,
It's very wet.
throughout history, there were mostly two methods of cooking. You had like water or no water. Do you want to roast it or you want to boil it?
You guys, I gotta bust out a Diet Dr. Pepper right now. 'Cause
Did y'all get into the bone marrow yet?
Not yet.
No, let's
I've
do it.
never
Jump to the
eaten
bone
bone
marrow.
marrow. How do you eat it?
Try
You
it.
scoop it?
You scoop it out like onto some bread or something. So bone marrow was typically served with Tafelspitz as like almost like an appetizer because the bones are boiled to create the broth, but they would keep the marrow
Oh,
intact.
it's so soft. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm putting this.
It is very soft.
Okay, I got no room on the plate.
Put the greens on. Put the
Okay.
greens on it.
So put greens on
Got
it
some
too.
greens.
And what animal is this?
Cow.
Cool. You waited for me.
I did as I was
Sorry.
supposed to. That's freaking good.
Yeah, it's just a hell of a bite of food.
So much flavor.
Did Franz Joseph do anything bad? You know anything about him? Oh, I mean, he was a European ruler in the
Right,
1800s.
yeah,
He
so-
did something. He did a lot of
It's
bad
all
stuff.
relative.
Yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
we all sin.
Are you ready for dessert? We don't have dessert plates. Everyone just take a spoon and just
Right.
get a giant thing
Okay.
of this meringue. Hell yeah.
Oh my God, I'm
Scoopy,
so
scoopy.
excited.
Look, I mean, that's a lovely texture on it because it's got flour in it, so like walks the line between like sort of pastry and just egg.
Yeah.
I can see my little vanilla beans.
It's like two ingredients, and it's just great.
Oh my God.
That concubine. Listen, if you need recommendations for any city in America, find the concubines. They have good ideas. Their job is like maintenance of culture. It's literally bringing happiness to people, right?
Best restaurants
That's
in the
right.
red light districts.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the closest
You
I'll
know?
ever get to concubine is selling pictures of my feet.
Honestly, if you are ever in Salzburg, check out St. Peter's Stiftsculinarium. Like really fascinating history. Like we said, Mozart, Haydn, maybe Columbus, definitely Morgan Freeman.
Yep. And if you are from that place, and you're what?
the normal coupling of celebrities.
That is the natural progression of any restaurant.
Max, thank you so much. We're obviously huge fans of Tasting History. You're incredible. Thank you for joining us at our
Thanks for
table
having
and
me.
trying to steal my job.
Anytime.
You hear that?
What?
It's a bop, is what the kids call it these
This-
days.
this
It's
was a bop?
Mozart. It means that like it's time to go dance on the floor.
Yeah, you gonna go get jiggy with it? You gonna go on some people?
I'm gonna blow on so many necks.
Nah, I don't like that. Not COVID safe. Thank you all so much for stopping by Mythical Kitchen. Hey, if you're subscribed to Mythical Kitchen, that's awesome. If you're not, please do that and click that bell. Max, you got anything else you want to plug?
Tasting History. Go click on it.
What the hell's that?
It's my show.
Who are you? Oh, man. A new mythical kitchen creature approaches. The Pizza Cock is here. That's a combination of pizza and peacock, and it's available on a brand new apron at mythical.com.